From another world, the doubt, the horror, beyond the land of my sacred home, my heart, my soul, my body, my skin, my own destiny. From the perfect land where comes my nature, before the deception, my delusion, forever they come, my village may succumb. We'll fight for freedom, we'll end the human war.
Testing. There we go! There we go again. Well, we got to listen to the nice music for a while. Good evening. Thank you, Grace. You said that just as I was noticing, so anyway, hello. How are you? Thank you. Oh, gosh. Alright, so, anyway, welcome back to Greedfall II. It's been a little while. I was just yapping a little bit about the podcast schedule. I'm a little bit behind on uploads on that, just because I had some things fall through, some planned episodes that didn't quite work out. But we are planning on discussing Magnifica Humanitas tomorrow night. And I was saying that I'm not sure yet whether that's going to be a live discussion, so you guys can watch live and comment and all that, or if it's going to be pre-recorded and then edited and then put up. It just kind of depends on some scheduling between I'm looking at it being at least me, Adam, and Len, who if you saw my second discussion of Charlie Kirk from a few months ago. That was with Len and Len Cassinger. He was on there. He's been on the panel before. We're going to be talking about Magnifica Humanitas. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all three of us will have read the whole thing by then. I've finished it. I've got my notes all set up. I'm not worried about showing my notes. They're wildly illegible to basically anyone but me, or so I'm told. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun discussion. I might wind up revisiting it with some other people as well later on, because it's a really long document. So there's plenty to talk about therein. So we'll see where the discussion goes. We'll see what we cover, what we don't, what I might want to talk to somebody else about at some other points in time, that sort of thing. So why not? Anyway, so got that music off at an awkward time, but let's get back into it, shall we? Oh gosh. Something about this game, I don't know, maybe it seems maybe inefficient graphically. Because it seems to be really lagging my webcam. Or maybe it's the streaming software or something. I don't know, it's lagging something. Alright, so if you forgot where we were, I understand, it's been 2 weeks. We were just leaving Xanthus, the city / islands / homeland of the Nauts. We're just getting ready to leave.
Thank you. Thank you for getting me out
We
of
just
there.
got Alvida
I'm sorry that even
off
here,
of murder
you've
charges.
once again been victim to the Alliance's evil schemes. But I'll get you home. I swore I would do it, and I shall. Tomorrow, we'll have a ship. And even if I can't take you to Tier 4D straight away, it's
Wait,
a
why
first
not?
step.
Why do we not leave now? You say you want to take us home, but in the next breath, you tell us we have to wait.
Good point, Milan.
Because this kind of expedition is incredibly expensive. Sailing to Tier 4D takes months and costs a fortune. You're
Okay,
going
fair
to need
enough.
a protector. A patron. But don't look at me. I don't have a coin to my name. My family does, though.
I know someone who wants to go home, too.
Not in
Imsimp
the
has not
least.
arrived
I'm
in
very
the chat
happy
yet,
to be here
so if
with
you're
you.
worried about that, he's not
You're
present.
far less dangerous than my uncle.
We
He might
can
be
choose
lurking.
our
If
destination
so,
once
hello.
we're aboard the ship. In the meantime,
But
we
I've
can
seen no
take a break
comments
at
yet.
the tavern or go for a walk. Anything you like. As long as there are no bars on the windows.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. I
it's her
overheard
again.
your conversation.
I still think
I'd
she's
like
up to something.
accompany you. Even if I have to wait, I'd like to go to Teofredi with you.
There are enough of your people on our island already.
True.
And you can surely find another ship. The Alliance regularly funds crossings to Hikmet.
That's true. I could probably find backing for a map-making mission, but I'd have to make compromises I'm not willing to make with people I despise. Please, let me prove that not all of my people are manipulators and forces of destruction.
She did warn us and helped us with the framing. And having an ally in the Alliance could be useful.
The best I can do is
It
to
could be
offer
lurkers,
to
Grace.
let you
There are
come aboard
lurkers,
my ship.
and we love them.
Whether or not
Don't
you
go
can
away,
be a
lurkers.
part of our group is a decision that's for the others to make.
Okay. Well, yeah, we gotta figure out whether they actually trust this woman. I am leaning towards absolutely not. There's something about her. She seems too slick. Seems a little too slick. Too conveniently placed, you know? Anyway, so if you recall, she was the one who warned us in advance about the attack that was going to be carried out by the agents of the Bridge Alliance representative, and she was all like, she's very apologetic for her people, because they're, you know, awful. But let's be fair. Oh, everyone wants to talk to me. Okay. Not everyone, just Sybil. Yeah, no, it's literally just Sybil. Okay, never mind. Sophia? Oh, wait, she's a party member? Are you serious? Let's just... Let's add her real quick, I guess. What does she do? She's a gunner. Okay. Weird. I don't know. I did not expect her to be a party member, frankly. Yeah, let's leave Sybil Costa Ludwig. I think this is a good party comp. Kind of like having Milan around. It's good to have ranged, but Fausta does magic at range, so she's fine. All right. Yeah. Same party will be fine. Let's talk to her and let's get a feel for this one. I have to hold the button. Yeah.
I'd have loved a moment's peace, but I suppose that's too much to ask. So,
You're asking
What do
us
you
for
want?
help, ma'am. Jeez, okay.
Why did the Alliance invade Teofredi? You have your own country.
that's a good question. Although I'm not sure you'll like my answer. There are resources on your island that we don't have, or no longer have, because we've exhausted them, and that we need to prosper. Your people don't exploit the
Might be
land
more
as
comfy.
we do.
Just lowered
And
my
you have
chair. a little.
vast spaces that still seem wild. But we like to domesticate nature, to enslave it as much as possible in order to build, to expand, to dominate other peoples.
Figured I could do that.
Our country is slowly dying, even though you may not have realized it yet. So my people are looking for new lands, and with them, a new future in a way.
But they do it at the expense of my people. Teofredi is not uninhabited.
It's true. But our technology is superior to yours, and my people are counting on that fact to get the better of you. Most of them think they're giving you a gift by doing so. They think they will bring you civilization. I'm sorry. I know that's not a pleasant answer to hear, but that's what most of them think.
Okay, a couple things about this. First of all, this does track with what we know from the first game. We found out from the first game that a large part of why the Malachor is afflicting people on the continent is that it is a sort of sickness of the land. Right? That they are in fact destroying or corrupting the very environment that they live on, and that is causing this semi-mystical illness. We also know that this also tracks with the Tirfredian woman that we met when we first got to the continent, who tried to go guardian mode and turned into the horrific abomination thing. She tried to draw on the power of this corrupted land rather than on the relatively unspoiled, let's say, power of Tirfredi, which manifests as Enoniel Frictamen, the one of 1,000 faces, the sort of god of the Tirfredians. The one I've talked about before as being weirdly localized while also being weirdly transcendent. In any case, yeah, there's definitely an element of that present. Again, the game world tells us is just straightforwardly true and correct. Now, there's this question of colonialism, broadly speaking, just sort of in general. And I think that the first game did a relatively good job at giving a nuanced perspective on colonialism. Oh, no, Grace, just you commenting so far, at least, unless I'm missing somebody too. No, it's the first game gave a relatively nuanced take on colonialism that, especially because, yeah, there were the two. Excuse me. There were so there were 5 factions in the original game. There was the Bridge Alliance, which is the one we've been interacting with a lot. They're sort of the antagonists of this game, and they were absolutely by far the worst, at least from my perspective, the worst faction in the first game as well. You had that. You had Taleme, which is the sort of religious extremist faction, and they were portrayed fairly negatively, but mostly through certain extremists who were sort of going against official orders, that sort of thing. But they had their faults, right? But then we also had the Congregation of Merchants, which is what Sybil is from. But that was the one that was the main character of the first game, was from the Congregation of Merchants. And then you had the Naughts, which were on Exantis, their sort of island, and then you had the Coin Guard. Coin Guard were sort of a mercenary company that works for anyone. So multiple nations will hire Coin Guard mercenaries, and they will even go to war with each other. This is something I talked about 2-3 weeks ago at some point. That is the beginning of a fascinatingly civilized system, but not quite. And why I say it's not quite is because that. Excuse me. Disputes like that can be resolved in a far more civilized manner using that same sort of broad mechanism of a sort of transnational mercenary company. Anyway, again, something I talked about a few weeks ago. I'll see if I can clip it. I'll see if I can clip that. That was actually something worth thinking about. I'll see if I can find it. I don't know if you remember where I put it, where I said that, and I'll see if I can find it. See if we can find that at some point. Wrote it down. Anyway, so the first game had a relatively nuanced view, like I said, on colonialism, right? Because it showed the various flaws, the various ideological flaws that could come up with respect to the sort of colonial impulse. And then also the sort of anti-colonial impulse as well, because it showed some of the flaws of the Tirfredians as well. They were not purely sort of the sort of noble savages. They were in fact fairly primitive and fairly brutal, and significantly naive, which I think we're getting some of that still coming through in this game as well. All of those aspects, at least to some extent. But we get to see some of the flaws of some of the problems with colonialism, but also ways of doing it well and doing it right. There were elements within Thélème in the first game that did have very genuine motives, and were not destructive about it, and they were not tyrannical about it. I can't think of any, frankly, redeeming factors about the Bridge Alliance. They were just bad all around. It's, at least insofar as they interacted with the natives, they were really bad about that. So never mind on them. They were awful. But then, of course, the Congregation of Merchants, they're very peaceable, because, as the name would suggest, they preferred commerce to conquest. Right? At least this time. That's another story. Apparently, they had already tried a sort of semi-conquest of Tirfredi, and it had failed because the Guardians. The whole thing is probably going to wind up being revealed a little bit more in this game, but we'll see. I don't know. Whew. Oh, excuse me again. Gosh. But yeah, so they were largely good to the natives. They were good partners in business and trade and civilizational exchange and all these good and overall mutually beneficial things. So there was this sort of light side of colonialism that we saw, mostly through the Congregation, but then also to some extent through Thélème, at least some elements of Thélème. What I'm surprised not to have seen was natives joining either the Naughts or the Coin Guard voluntarily. I would have expected to see some of that, and the sort of light and dark sides of doing so. Yeah, they are to some extent abandoning their culture, perhaps. They are to some extent seizing an opportunity without fully understanding understanding what it entails. But then also they are participating in a kind of cultural exchange as well, that I think would have been a really interesting thing to see. And I'm wondering if maybe we'll see that a little bit here in this game, but probably not, because this is a prequel. If there were Tirfredian Naughts or Tirfredians in the Coin Guard, at this point, there certainly would have been, however many years later the second game takes, or the first game takes place. Frankly, the worst thing about that is that, yeah, there are some really interesting potential stories in that sort of thing, but we likely will never see them, because this is likely to be the last game in the series, because Spiders shut down right after this was released. Magic, really. Why are you here? I'm still suspicious of you, deeply.
What brought you to Yuxantis? Just the librarian's invitation?
That's already an excellent reason, you know. That man is a font of knowledge. Exchanging with him is a real opportunity. But you're right. It wasn't the only reason. Yuxantis is very little known to people on the mainland. Naughts guard their island jealously and rarely invite foreigners to their guild. They resemble us in many ways, especially since many youngsters of my own people have joined them. But they are also completely different. And their relationship to the sea and navigation is unique. Having the chance to discover their city, their culture, their way of life. It was an opportunity I couldn't pass up.
Yeah. Again, we learned in the first game that
Boy,
See you.
the knots are actually quite secretive because they have to be, really. They can't really afford to let slip the secrets how they navigate the seas, because they have an effective monopoly on call it deep water navigation, right? Navigation beyond the shore. Sybil, what do you get? The zoomies. That happens. Anyway. Okay. So, God, it's gonna be distracting. Another thing I wanted to yap about a little bit. Maybe this is something worth either clipping or at least mentioning to Adam. I might get distracted and talk about this tomorrow night. Who knows? But this brought up. This came to my mind from a confluence of factors, which the best thoughts often do. That so I'd been talking about the symposium, Plato's Symposium, again with Adam for a forthcoming podcast of his that is Incarnational Inkwell. So again, if you're not following his channel, you should be. It's great stuff. He's just been covering some ancient Greek drama and is about to be getting into the sort of classical period. But our discussion about the symposium included a discussion of the directionality of the Athenian concept, at least, of love, of eros, at least. Erotic love. Excuse me. That in a relationship of eros, there wasn't a lover and a beloved, an active and a passive, a giver of love and a receiver of love, a lover and the beloved, the erostes and eromenos. Now, these correspond to, I'm going to say, to the symbolic masculine and feminine, right? Though, in the Athenian context in particular, it often also corresponded to older man, younger boy, but that's clearly an aberration of nature, and so that's set aside. Point being that this lover-beloved dynamic symbolically maps onto the masculine-feminine distinction in any kind of loving relationship. Now this is combined in my head with I've been listening, as I've mentioned before, to the Bible in a Year, and we were just getting to the Song of Solomon. Now, the Song of Solomon uses what I take to be a similar distinction between not lover, but love and beloved. And it does seem to be that the love is the one that gives love, one that loves. And the beloved is the one that is loved. But it is far more mutual, right, than this traditional sort of, I say traditional, but that's anachronistic, but this Greek relationship, this Greek kind of relation. I say it's anachronistic because the Song of Solomon was written roughly the 10th century BC, and Plato's Symposium was written roughly the 5th century BC. So there's a 500-year gap, and the directionality goes the other way. Some people have actually speculated that Socrates was somehow familiar with the Wisdom of Solomon, but I've seen no evidence of that. If anything, it's sort of convergent philosophical evolution, I think. In any case, that aside, the part that struck me as a little odd about this is that the lover in the Song of Solomon is the wife, whereas the beloved is the husband. Which is the inversion of the Athenian relationship, or maybe I should say the Athenian or the classical Greek notion, and frankly, the sort of mythic, symbolic masculine-feminine order of things is the inversion of that. Now, it could just be a linguistic difference. It could be just be a linguistic difference that love means what the Greeks mean by eromenos, or beloved, or I guess it would be eromenais. I don't know enough Greek, classical Greek at least, or any Greek really, enough of any sort of Greek to give the feminine version of eromenos, but whatever. The beloved. That by love, they mean what the Greeks mean by beloved. And by beloved, they mean what the Greeks mean by lover. But that's possible. That is possible. Symbolically, that would track. However, it also could be a kind of an insistence on mutuality. But if that's the case, then I would not expect there to be different terms for each one. So I don't know. I'm curious enough to look at... I haven't had a chance to. But I kind of want to look at the terms used in the Septuagint, in the Greek Old Testament, in the Song of Solomon, to see what terms are used for love and beloved, and see if they track with the later classical Greek use. Frankly, again, that's not correct. With the earlier classical Greek use, because the Septuagint was translated after the Symposium was written, after the time of Socrates, and so the Hebrew was translated into Greek. So it was written in Hebrew in the 10th century. Socrates talked and Plato wrote in the 5th into the 4th century, and the Septuagint was translated, I think, around a century and a half, maybe later, late 3rd century, if I remember correctly, something like that. Was when the Septuagint was actually fully translated, and the whole Old Testament, the whole Hebrew Bible was written into Greek. And then it was used through the time of Christ, and well into the 1st and 2nd century AD. Anyway, though, point being that there's a sort of flip-flop back and forth, and I'm curious as to the use of the term. Whether this might be just a quirk of the particular RSV, 2nd edition, translation of the Song of Solomon. Anyway, I do want to kind of look it up. I'm curious to see, because otherwise it is a weird inversion. Because if it were just a sort of insistence on mutuality, like I talked about in my previous podcast, or I guess like I talked about on some of my live streams that I clipped into a podcast. If it were an insistence upon mutuality, then you would expect them to use him, because it's Solomon. You'd expect Solomon to use the same term, just a masculine and feminine version, if Hebrew has that. I don't actually know. But anyway, yeah, it's weird. It's an interesting little incongruity that raised a flag for me. I don't know if it raised a red flag. I don't know if this is a oddity or a bad thing, but it's interesting. It's because it strikes me as a kind of symbolic inversion, and a symbolic inversion happening in the Old Testament is odd. This don't happen too much. I mean, they do sometimes. The Book of Judges is full of symbolic inversions. Second Chronicles has some. Some of the prophets a little bit, not as much, but a little bit. It's there. But usually it's an indicator of strange times, and there needing to be a double inversion that happens to restore order, that sort of thing. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to yap about at some point was the division of the divided kingdom of Israel and Judah, and the impetus for it and what that can tell us about the justification for or lack of justification for schism, for unjust responses to a just cause, that sort of thing. But that might be that may wind up just being a whole podcast episode one of these weeks. So maybe I'll hold off on it. Then again, it's on a long list. I got that to talk about. I want to talk about Mixtape. I have not played it, but I've watched it, and that's the same thing. I want to talk about Mixtape and just sort of 90s nostalgia in general. And I grew up then, so I have some things to say. And I also, something I wanted to talk about for years, and I've thought about doing a video on this, and I never got around to, so finally I have an excuse to, because I'm doing a bi-weekly podcast. I also kind of want to talk about, partially as an exemplar of the sort of fall of Disney storytelling, I want to look at Frozen as a kind of perverse retelling of The Lion King. All that and more on my stupid little podcast coming up in the next, I don't know, couple months. All right, let's let Sybil calm down and have a chat with her, shall we? See what she has to say.
If we keep this up, I'll end up becoming a real specialist in escaping prison by any means possible. That being said, I'm really glad that we got my dear Alvida out of this jail.
Calm your tits. Literally. You got a vibration thing going on. Anyway, but that aside, what did you want to talk about? Your family? Maybe? What's new? Anyway, yeah, I'm glad that we have a prison break specialist, I guess.
You seem very proud of your family. They rule over a city, if I understand correctly.
The ancient city of Peren. The oldest inhabited city on the continent, if local legend is to be believed. My family, the de Vesps, have been merchant princes there for generations. No other family in the city would be mad or suicidal enough to claim the title anyway. You see, my family has made assassination their art and manipulation their language. And an unquenchable thirst for power pulses through our veins. However, we are no longer the leaders of the congregation, as Peren has lost some of its influence. That honor belongs to the Dorsays, the princes of Serene. And of course, every member of our family has sworn to take the title from them. My
I also thought it was
uncle is His
Serene,
Highness
but
Alexander
whatever.
de Vesp I, assisted in his sinister plans by my cousin Octave, whose name alone is enough to make one tremble in fear. Between you and me, they're all obsessive murderers who have been driven mad by inbreeding and idleness. But their name still opens many doors, which could be useful to us.
Mm-hmm. And you have not been driven mad by inbreeding? I mean, you're the same.
Let's talk
Talking
about
about
it
blood
later.
relatives here, right?
Always at your service.
Is that what you wanted to talk about? You had an exclamation point over your head. Is that not what you wanted to? Wait, you Fausta.
If I can be of any help, let me know.
Nothing new.
I must leave you.
See you later.
Nope. Okay. Let's now what? I guess we'll go upstairs and have a rest. Maybe that's what we need to do. It is. Look at that. My bed has a an exclamation point on it. Look at that. Crazy. You feel rested after a few hours of well-deserved sleep.
Alvida left for the port at dawn. She was excited to see a ship at last. Are we going to meet her?
Yes, let's. Nice and morning out here. Excessively foggy, though. Let's see if we can talk to Admiral What's-His-Name who lives up here. Barcelos, that's it.
Ah, my daughter's strange companions. I suppose I owe you an apology. If I hadn't been involved with that emissary, you wouldn't have had to prove your innocence in this
His
mess.
daughter?
Take time to rest and celebrate the end of this sordid affair. Now,
Huh.
unless you have any questions.
Yeah, actually.
How do you see the Nords? Do you see them as sailors only? As merchants?
Just a few centuries ago, there were only a handful of ragged fishermen on this rock, who starved when the sea was rough. But those who came before me used the inhabitants' gift for navigation to transform it into the base of a prosperous guild. Most foreigners see us as simple sailors, but we're far more than that. We're ship owners. We design and build our own vessels. We're also explorers who open new routes on the seas and discover unknown lands. And finally,
Like ours.
we offer our transport services to the different nations and are paid handsomely for them, which allows us to go even further with better ships. I know you must resent some of the services we provide, but we're not responsible for what our customers put into our holds.
I mean, honestly, that's fair.
Thank you for
I
your
can
time.
fight him on that.
You're welcome.
Now, I feel like maybe they smoothed off some of the rough edges of the knots, because the way that people join the knots, the ways, I guess you'd say, that people join the knots, are... Okay, so... this is something we learned in the first game, and there were actually several plot lines associated with it. That you become a knot if you're born one, first of all. It is a generational culture, but more significantly, you become a knot under a few conditions. One, if your parents sell you, you can be contracted to become a knot by your parents. Or if you are born at sea. Anyone born at sea is automatically a knot. And they join the knots, and they leave their family of origin to become sailors. So, yeah, don't go sailing while pregnant in this world, I guess. I mean, unless you want your child to be, whisked away to join the Sailors Guild. And so the knot civilization, such as it is, as depicted in the previous game, was a little bit more sketchy, let's just broadly say, than they seem to be depicted here. But basically what this game seems to be doing, to me at least, is smoothing off the rough edges of at least some of the factions and sharpening some of the others. Like, the Bridge Alliance is getting some more nuance, because now we have a little bit more of an idea of the internal political dynamics. But still, they are pretty much our primary antagonists, at least so far, and they're kind of nasty still. Maybe even nastier than they were in the first game, which is really something. I mean, that's really something, because I was pretty constantly comparing them to the likes of Anthony Fauci, and if you, that's great villains of our age, I'll tell you. So maybe they're getting smoothed off a little bit, but also, excuse me, they're also getting sharpened a bit. But the Tirfridians are really getting softened. The rough edges are kind of getting polished off of the knots. We'll have to see about the Congregation and the Coin Guard and Taleme. I have a bad feeling about Taleme that they might get also similar maltreatment, but you never know. Possible. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious to see what direction the factions get taken.
There you are. I'm happy to
And of course
see
there's
you
the
out
Duden
of that
Empire, which we never
courtroom
heard of.
cleared of those ridiculous accusations.
And the, what is it,
Captain
3 states?
Alvida has already returned to her ship and is busy preparing for your journey.
3 cities,
When
or
you're
whatever
ready,
it is?
just say the word and we'll take you aboard too.
Let's go. I'm curious as to whether we can come back. I don't know how linear this game is. Or if it's backtrackable.
We're ready.
In that case, climb into this boat and it will take you aboard. Godspeed.
Well, let's see then, shall we? To the previous game, you could always go back to, I think, any area. And I'll say a lot of the areas in the first game had good reasons to go back to them as well. They had developing plots and things.
Well, what do you think of my ship? It's quite the change from that old skiff. This one even has a cabin.
Yes, it is a fine vessel. But when will you take us back?
As soon as I can pay the crew and stock the old with food for the trip.
My family would certainly be able to finance the journey, especially since it would be an opportunity for them to compete with the Dorsays. They're a rival family who rule over the cities of Serene and New Serene. Come to think of it, they too could finance our trip, I suppose. They certainly have the means.
That would entail going to Peren, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind going there too. There's someone there I need to see.
Really? Someone from Thélème, I presume?
Interesting.
Yes, a man of the cloth who might be able to help me get home. A certain Father Cardinal Pius.
I've heard of him. A charming old man who lives like a monk, I believe.
Yes, he's a priest and the Thélème ambassador. He can help me get home, but his influence could also be useful in getting your expedition financed.
Yes, I've heard of him. Well, having the backing of influential people is rarely a bad thing.
Can be if they demand something in
My
return.
family is going to be thrilled when they hear about my exploits in Alima.
As for me, I'd like to go back to Iskiara. We left behind a giant, rampaging creature, and I hate to think what might happen to the locals and my companions. We can't just leave this beast to wander around. We have to find out what happened after our timely getaway. And since it's not possible to dock in Dutton, this will bring me as close as possible.
That's a lot of destinations to choose from. We'll have to choose just one. So, where are we headed?
Fascinating. Okay. Okay, so it is... It does open up. Okay, so it opens up back to some areas that we've already been to as well. So very cool. Okay, very, very cool. The Constancia. Cross the seas and take you anywhere. Essential to travel from one country to another via Gatan. Gatane? Kane? We'll find out. Use the world map to choose a destination. The ship anchors off the coast of the chosen country. Use the rowboat to reach dry land. Compose your party as required for each descent. Oh, in the rowboat, I guess. Your companions on board. As with your new house. Okay. Companions, bed in the cabin. My cabin. I get the cabin? That's weird. I thought Alvida would get the cabin. She is the captain. But whatever. Storage chest, workbench, merchant. Merchant. When you're in regions without a camp, like in big cities, feel free to come back to the Constancia. Local maps offer a quick return to the ship. Except in temporary situations where escape is forbidden. I've leveled. Let's see about that. Alright, let's see here. I don't understand why there is this choice here. The second one just seems strictly better. Yeah, that's worth getting. That'll work. Talents. Oh, we get new talents. Disarming traps allows you to retrieve the trap. That's kind of cool. New recipes. Let's just keep pumping into diplomacy, shall we? Okay, I have to do the whole crew, don't I? Till, what are we doing with you? I'm never gonna use him. Why am I even doing this? Retaliation. Want. Yeah, that's good. Rampart. We have it. Armor. Okay, attributes. Okay. All right, Elon. That's quite good. He's going to be pretty good for support if we ever want to using him. Okay. Ludwig Shadowstorm, what is that? Double Fracas. Place in an area of effect and applies projection on the second impact. That's kind of cool. Heavy damage on characters with an area of effect around the caster. 50% is physical and 50% magical. Let's go with that. It's quite cool. Okay. There's 1 point. Just kidding, just one. Okay. Weird that there was just one sneeze. I don't usually sneeze just once. Applies mark. Hunter's mark. I mean, kind of want to, because it's, you know, the ranger spell. But that's better. Finish people off. Simple enough. Max out agility. Focus. I have no clue what you're even supposed to do. Gun, I guess. I don't know. Pushing shot. Precision. Reduce action points. Applies bleeding. Treat. That's quite nice. High enough level, that's fine. Hunter's Mark I could take. Elite Shooter. There, first aid. Alright, she needs perception. Yep, and then focus. And endurance. There. Okay. Reduce threat. Needs that. Okay, Alvida. Let's go crit chance. Let's go retaliation. Why not? All right, cool. That's that. Ooh, okay, we have a whole thing going. Oh yeah, we got there's Exantis, all right. Nice. Very foggy. Let's explore the ship a little bit, shall we? How you doing, Milan? Nice cabin. Oh, the gang's all here. Okay, I see. The map to choose destination here in the cabin. Oh man, I don't have collectible statues. There's a little thing. There's a thing for collectible statues. I'm. That's quite nice. Hold on, if this is Alvida's cabin, I'm gonna come back and talk to you guys, but then where's mine? I thought I had a cabin. Tell Sybil Ludwig wants to talk. Come back to him. Is my cabin below decks? Random sailor. Another sailor. That is not, that's not stairs. Okay, just kidding. We got a whole crew. We got a cook. We got a nice little galley. This is a nice ship. It's a little ship, but it's nice. I mean, honestly, it's kind of, like, height-wise, this is basically cavernous. Hold on. This doesn't seem... Hold on. Let me see how high above the waterline this is. Okay, I'm sorry. This is just an obscenely tall vessel. I have to assume this is for the purpose of the tactical camera working properly. Because that is an obscenely tall vessel. Memory stone. For respecking, right? Land Seller's Turban. Huh. I wonder if that will look good or work well for Fausta. It's not. That's kind of bad. Those are good. Those add agility. No magic defense. Huh. Okay. Well. That might be better. It is better, actually. Hmm. Chef's hat. They'll look very silly. I have to keep the tricorn. That looks bad on her. The looks are very important. Yeah, alright, that's all I got. I thought, maybe. Oh well. And I take it my cabin's in the bow? Is this the bow? I'm trying to get my bearings here. Yeah, this is the bow. This is a big ship. Quite nice. It's a good player vessel. We have a cow thing.
Hello? I didn't know we had a merchant on board.
Not all ships do, but it seems that you have support among the admirals. Would you like to see what I have for sale? I sell a bit of everything.
Sure, you've got alchemy and whatnot too. Consumables. Kinds of ingredients. Oh, level 28 though. Man, alright. Legendary. Level 34. Going on. Ooh, we could get that. Reinforced peacoat from surviving fire ships. This overcoat was reinforced by Nod, who single-handedly rowed a fireboat by night against the wind to the pirate ship that had been pursuing her vessel. She was found alive on a beach a week later, still wearing the overcoat. Affinity to power. Since to immobilization. Medium armor. How much money do I have? I have 5,500 gold. I gotta buy it. Alright, is that better than what I have for me? I think I need medium armor, right? And that is medium. It's lower armor. Really? Better dodge chance, better crit chance, better crit damage. Let's see if it's better for her. It is, but I don't like the look of it. What Alvida? Way better for her. Yeah, that's probably better. I gotta modify it a bit. That's fine. Navigator's leather, that's fine. It's fine too. That's better. Yeah, that'll work. You can have a cutlass. You should have a cutlass. That fits. Okay. Crafting is upstairs. I might need the merchant to actually do it, but let's see if I can do it myself. Here we go. I don't have the craftsmanship any. Oh wait, because I'm not wearing my craftsmanship cloak. Absurdity. Adds affinity to power, huh? Yeah. Nice. Okay, good enough. Alright, let's talk to everybody, shall we? Everybody who wants to talk. Ludwig.
Ah, excellent timing. I was just thinking about you. I wanted to ask you something.
What is it?
I suppose you haven't forgotten our memorable encounter with my nephew Rudolph? It so happens that I've just received a message concerning him.
Ooh, side quest.
It appears to have
Personal
been written
quest?
by a
Whatever.
servant who accuses me of being responsible for the disappearance of his mistress, a merchant from the congregation. He says that she was lured to a meeting by my nephew and never came back.
Great.
In the course of the various threats of torture and accusations he makes, it emerges that my nephew has also disappeared. I'm worried about him.
They ran off together, didn't they?
We don't have a good relationship, but it's all my fault, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. I could take care of it myself, but I'm afraid I wouldn't be thinking clearly because it involves my family. Would you help me find my nephew and this woman?
Yeah. Why is he mad?
Why do you and your nephew have such a strained relationship?
It's a very long story that I prefer not to think about. Look, I'll tell you if we manage to find Rudolph. I promise.
Okay, sure. That hurt my reputation?
I understand why you're worried. Let's try to find out what happened to your nephew.
Yes? Do you need anything?
That's it.
See you later.
Ow.
Of course.
Okay, so hold on. I'm about to set out on a companion quest. What did that just do? Vita wants to talk to you. Ludwig wants to talk to you. Or he already did talk to me. Oh, okay. So this is just list of companion quests. That's all. Footsteps of a Guardian. Remember what became of the Guardian after the Battle of Eschiara. Okay. Kurnaz's plan. According to Fausta, a woman named Zarin in Olima could help you. Who's Kurnaz? Although she's Kurnaz's wife, Fausta swears she can be trusted. The Grey Eminence. Father Cardinal Pius. Fausta suggested that a high-ranking figure in Thélème might be able to help you organize your return to voyage to Tir-Fadi. She planned to visit him herself. Where do you go to Peren? Okay, so Peren. Zarin in Olima. We can go to Olima. I'm actually kind of surprised we can go to Olima. And then back to Eschiara. Okay. Where does he want me to go? Oxantis. Okay, so back on to Oxantis. So we could just go back to Oxantis here and just do this. Let's see what everybody wants first. Till, why are you waving a pistol? I mean, understandable, I guess. It happens sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta wave a gun around, right? Been there. We've all been there. What does Safia want?
I know you already have a lot to do, but I would still like to ask a favor, if you can spare a moment.
It's not really the moment. We'll see what we can do later.
Of course. There's no hurry.
Oh.
Come back and see me at a more opportune moment.
Oh, okay. You can only... I see. That's right. Okay, so you can only pick up one companion quest at a time. That's interesting. Okay, that's very interesting.
I've seen you use rifles like the people in the Alliance. They are powerful weapons, and I'd like to know how to use them.
You young people are all the same. Always curious
I want to
eager
use a
acquire
gun!
new skills. I'll show you the fundamentals, so you could use them without hurting yourself.
Always a good first step, isn't it?
Well, what do you think?
It wasn't as hard as it seemed. Thank you, Safia.
Alright,
Bye.
See you.
Interesting. Alright, so... I've unlocked the new skill tree. I've unlocked rifles. Okay, so I got bows and rifles now. I don't actually have Thélème rings, though. Thought I did, but I don't. Interesting. Maybe she can teach me that. I'm curious.
I imagine that there are more urgent matters than visiting the man I spoke of. Father Cardinal Pius, who lives in Peren. That said, we need to go and meet him as soon as possible. I need to inform him of all that we have witnessed. Kurnaz's rise in power, his unwarranted attacks against the islanders. He will know what to do
Kurnaz.
to
Okay,
put an end to
Kurnaz.
it,
He's
and will be a
the
strong ally
Bridge
against the
guy.
general. And he is also a close relation of the de Vespe family, who could finance the journey to Tir-Fadi. He could certainly help us convince them if the support from Sybil proves insufficient.
Okay.
You seem to know the man well. Otherwise, why would you want to find him so badly?
Let's just say that he was an ally during my exile. Someone who didn't turn his back on me despite my banishment. He is a powerful and wise man.
That means a lot.
And after all we have seen, I must admit that
Especially
I'm
if he
at
has
my
a
wits'
sort of
end.
position of power or
But I
authority
know
in
he'll know what to
Thélème
do.
society.
How to protect
He risks
Thélème as
that.
well as the people of Tir-Fadi from the Alliance.
You consider him something of a mentor, if I'm hearing you correctly?
Yes, that is exactly right. Is there anything else you would like to know?
Oh, yeah. What's he on about?
You're saying that your father Cardinal wants to put a stop to Gurnaz's attacks on my people. But why would he even care?
Thélème is an enemy of the Alliance, as you know. And my nation does not find the conquest of your island by these people to be desirable. We have a different approach. It may not be perfect, I will readily admit. But we have no desire to remove your people from your homeland, nor to force them into slavery. Any information that would allow Thélème to put a stop to this conquest would benefit your people, believe me.
Yeah, that is true. See, I kind of like this. I like that, at least tentatively, Thélème is kind of they're kind of being the good guys here. Yeah.
Where can we meet this Father Cardinal?
He can be found most often in the Thélème embassy in Peren.
We'll go to Peren soon enough, and we will be sure to meet him then.
If you end up docking in the city, I'll meet you at the embassy.
Of course. The magic that you're using is different from ours. Do you think you could teach me to use it?
I admit that I never thought about it. Of course, there is special training required to wield the rings, but you need to possess the gift of the enlightened. And your faith is so different than our own. But who am I to question what the divine intends for you? Let's try. We'll see what happens. It's incredible. May the enlightened forgive me. But I would have never thought that a native not of our faith could be so gifted in our magic. Of course, you'll need to continue practicing in order to progress. But you have the gift. This much is true.
Thank you, Fausta.
Cool.
I must leave you.
See you later.
Got a new skill tree. Yet another. There we go. Thélème rings. Check that out. Divine Ray and Torment. Quite cool. I am gonna stick with my Gifford bracelets because I've already got her handling the Thélème magic. All right, how do I dock? Thing for that, right? Ooh, the rear castle. What's this? Oh, my cabin. Oh, okay, so I do have a cabin. Nice. There's trees in here. Oh, I can just hit T to dock, can't I? You can see that. It's underneath my picture. Wow, that is quite the aft castle. Okay, so hold on. I like this interiorly as a player ship. However, as an actual vessel, is there a photo mode? Oh, I can't zoom out far enough. Darn it. I want to see this ship from, especially from profile, from side. Because the proportions of this vessel are, I mean, fine, dictated by how the camera and stuff works in this game, but still, absolutely ridiculous. Like how tall this ship is with only an aft castle. There's no forecastle. I don't know. That's a little strange. Let's see about Alvina.
I'm glad you came to see me. I'm going to need your help.
I mean, we can't
It's
right
a
now,
personal
unfortunately.
matter.
Think.
What does it entail?
As you may remember, Silvio told me about a cache on the Constantia. Despite everything that's happened to that ship since sinking, it wasn't discovered. I found my mother's logbook in there. But she had so little trust that she wrote in code. And I don't understand any of it. I need to know what information it holds. It may give me some insight into what happened to her. You understand?
Of course. But what do you expect from me?
I need you to find someone who can translate the logbook.
Okay.
I'm at your service.
Thank you for your support. But we're already busy with another matter.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
talk about it once we've finished.
Okay.
I won't bother you any longer.
See you soon.
Okay. So we have to finish. What's his name's first? Ludwig. Okay. That will do. Dock back at Exantis. Because we have business here. Alright, back to the tavern we were staying at, huh? There we go.
Look, the man sitting at that table is probably the man who delivered the letter to me.
Okay.
You? You're here? I suppose you're hoping to silence me. And to think my poor mistress was delighted to make your acquaintance. If only she'd known what a monster you are. You and your whole family of criminals. I will not be intimidated. I will find her, whatever it takes.
I don't understand a single thing you've said. Explain yourself, that's all I'm asking.
Yes, play the fool. I know you're to blame for what happened to her, and I'll prove it. I'll have you hanged.
You're not the first to promise me that. Now stop this childishness and tell us what happened. We can help you find your mistress.
You keep playing your little game. But you won't fool me. We'd only been here a few days when she told me to stay in her room here at the inn because she was going to meet you. She was so happy to have been contacted by your nephew, who had promised a meeting with you at the docks. She could already see herself doing business in Dutton with your help. But she never came back. And when I went looking for her and mentioned your nephew, I was told that he was missing too. So don't tell me you had nothing to do with it.
I never arranged any meeting with your mistress, I can assure you of that. My nephew must have used my name to secure the meeting.
You're nothing but a family of criminals. That's what you are. I've had enough of your lies. But I won't give up. I'll find her.
If we want to find this merchant, we're going to need to know something about her and the meeting that was to take place. Why don't we search her room?
Yeah, okay. Which one's her room? This one?
I don't have the key.
Let's see if I need the key. No.
I can't do it.
Okay.
This door is locked.
Let's ask the bartender, I guess, maybe. See if he can help us. I really thought I could do that. 65% chance. Innkeeper.
Welcome to the Fishing Mermaid. What'll it be?
We're looking for a merchant from the congregation. We were told she was staying here while she was in Yuxantis.
Yes, Lady Michelle. She has a room here, but I haven't seen her for some time.
I know.
Do you have any idea where she might have gone?
No. She can do what she likes. She's paid for her room in advance. All I can tell you is that she had a rendezvous.
Why does this guy have broccoli hair?
Perhaps with a gentleman, which would explain why she didn't come back.
Can you tell us which room she's staying in?
The one facing the stairs, but don't bother going there. As I've already told you, she's not in.
Right this way.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Lady Michelle has gone missing. Her servant, who is very worried, told us about it. This could reflect very badly on Yuxantis, so we've been asked to find her. We need to look around her room to try and track her down.
Missing, you say? Oh, I thought she'd just fallen in love with one of our handsome sailors.
That's probably
Here,
what happened, actually.
Take the key, but don't make a mess. Would you like anything else? I have a delicious cider right now.
I'd like a delicious cider. Those are not delicious ciders.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Come back soon. We're open at all hours.
Now that I saw it, I can't unsee it. The middle-aged barkeep has broccoli hair. Okay, so the bookshelf has been ransacked. Somebody was looking for something, maybe. The lantern is lit, and so is a candle. That seems like it's probably just, probably just a sort of ludonarrative problem. I'm guessing those are not meant to be clues. Though, look, if I were running something like this investigation in D&D, and they walked into the room where she has been missing from for several days, and there were a lit lantern and 2 lit candles, that would be a clue. 100% that would be a clue. Proposed meeting, madam. I have taken the liberty of contacting you by letter today because I have a business proposal to make. You see, my uncle is none other than the great smuggler Ludwig. A merchant of your standing must surely be aware of the opportunities that a connection like this might offer. As it so happens, my uncle's currently in Yuxantis and has informed me that he'd like to meet you, hence my letter. If you're interested, meet at dusk on the quays north of the House of Foreigners. Rudolph, Ludwig the smuggler's nephew. Okay, dusk north of the House of Foreigners.
This message tells the merchant to meet on the docks near Overseas House. It's signed Rudolph, the nephew of the smuggler Ludwig.
What on earth has got into the lad?
Let's go and have a look on the docks. Maybe we'll find something there.
Alright, let's go have a look, shall we? I should get rid of some of this vendor trash I keep picking up.
We'll have to be careful.
Oh, sorry.
We're not supposed to be here.
Why not? What is this? Probably where I have to go, honestly, isn't it?
This is the place mentioned in Rudolph's message.
Let's look around. Maybe we'll be able to learn what happened.
The sea is calm today.
It's perfect for sailing.
This hat is very similar to those worn by the congregation.
Yeah?
The merchant we're looking for must have lost it.
Yeah. It is what you're currently wearing, so that tracks. Blood.
That's blood. The meeting was apparently a trap. Luckily, the attackers left us a fresh trail.
I hope it's not Rudolph's blood. What have you got yourself into, boy?
Oh. Someone's money. Yeah, they're gonna drag... The blood trail's gonna go under there, I'm sure of it. Not sure of it, but reasonably.
I can't do it.
Alright, well... What is that? Right. Oysters. That way. Maybe through here? I'm just guessing at this point.
We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to...
Alright, so yeah, I'm not supposed to go here. There's a cool shark over there. Maybe this isn't right. Try the other way. Maybe if I go up into the House of Foreigners. Maybe that'll be it. No, I'm allowed here, remember? Sort of allowed here. No, that's not right. Some coins. It has to be through that way, doesn't it? Maybe. Let's see.
What else do you want? Thank you. We're just passing through. What else do you want? Thank you. We're
Oh,
just
he doesn't let you
passing
through. Okay, interesting. Alright. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Well, here's these two. Can't talk to them, though. Alright, moving on.
We'll have to be careful.
Ahoy! Is anybody there?
Can I talk to him? That's gotta be it, right? There's no other...
Fair winds.
Indeed.
The sea is calm today. It's perfect for sailing.
Not supposed to be there. Okay.
What a beautiful day.
Either the warehouse or over here, the like, what is this, the lighthouse, I guess? Oh, I am allowed here. Okay. Alright. That's a cool dead shark. Yeah. These are a bunch of unfriendly guards I can see, because I can't talk to them. Fascinating.
We need a key to open this door.
Yeah, I bet. Okay. I do have a strong feeling of that is where I need to ultimately wind up, but I can't get there yet. Alright. So, what are my options here?
Be quiet. We don't want to be overheard.
The bloodstains lead straight to this warehouse. I hope your nephew is still alive, my dear Ludwig.
What makes us think that it was the okay.
I can't do it.
What makes us think that it's the kid's blood? I have some makeshift tools. I might as well use them, right? Yeah, that makes this much easier. I don't have to fight my way through the middle of the main courtyard. And I get some cool treasure. Ooh, a gun. Wow, a gun. Alright. Oh. Yay. Just, you know, just in case. Wow, a coat! Ooh, and a cool new hat. That's a cool hat. A man-sized cage and a bunch of valuables. Okay.
Whoever wrote
And another
this
gun.
said that the goods should be moved to a cave in the backcountry to minimize risk. That's
Oh,
a funny way of
I know the
putting
cave.
it. I'm pretty sure the goods they're talking about are actually people, and that they're the ones we're looking for.
Yeah. Why not? Why? Interaction not possible. Why, you bastard? Why? What do you mean not possible? What's this?
Someone was tied up with this rope. Either our merchant or your nephew, Ludwig.
Hmm. Well, okay then. Not quite sure how you can tell that, but okay. Let's see.
I think that's all there is. I doubt we'll find anything more.
Damn it, Rudolph, what have you got yourself into? Everything suggests that he's involved in some kind of kidnapping.
Whether he was kidnapped
It's hard to know
or was
whether
kidnapped.
he instigated
Yeah.
this or whether he was a victim.
Oh, well. Thank you,
There
Fasta.
aren't enough clues here to draw any conclusions.
What do you think? Could he be behind all this?
The lad I knew had never set foot on a ship. In fact, he'd never been further than his own property line. I'd like to say he couldn't have done it, but the truth is, I don't know. And now all I want to do is save him from the gallows.
Then let's try to find that cave from the letter.
I know exactly the cave.
The sooner the
Or,
better.
I mean, there's one of two options, so. I wonder if I can fast. I can't fast travel until I get out of here. Fine. Reasonable, I suppose. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I knew if I followed you, I'd find something. What were you doing in that warehouse? Is that where you're keeping my mistress?
We're not holding anyone. We followed a trail that led from the docks to this place.
A likely story. It's a good thing I hired these men. We're gonna tear this place apart and find out where you bastards are hiding her. But first, we're gonna search you. You can't leave here with any evidence. Search them.
Hey, fine. Like, you can search. Why am I resisting? Oh God! Alright, let's just take out the novice first, shall we? Okay, Ludwig. No, not that. Not yet. Okay, and then you're gonna touch that guy. Ludwig is gonna power sweep. He's gonna go here. Then he's gonna power sweep there. Sybil. No, not combat healing. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to first aid Sybil. Then Ludwig, after he does all that, is gonna then first aid Sybil. By power. Hurtful words. Not enough action points. Of course not. That'll be fine. Maybe that's not too smart, but it should be fine. Okay, you get weaknessed. Wait, he's already weaknessed. I don't actually need to do that. He already has weakness. Okay. Projection him, though.
Stop,
oh, good.
Please. We had no intention of killing you.
Okay.
We just want to find my mistress.
Why didn't you listen to us then?
Yeah, we're working together here. I don't know why that
Let
was
us search
necessary.
you, and I thought you were involved in her disappearance. What choice did I have?
You could have believed us when we told you that we had nothing to do with it, but that we were going to find your mistress and my nephew.
Then what were you doing in that warehouse? Did you find anything there? Do you have any leads? My mistress isn't
Now you're
just
gonna ask for help.
anybody, you know. She's not just
Really?
important to me. She's important to the congregation.
Sure, whatever.
We went to the place where your mistress was
Zingar
supposed
is
to have a meeting.
idealistic and
We
naive.
found a trail that led us here. The clues we found in this warehouse suggest that she's been kidnapped. And we discovered a note that mentioned a cave in the backcountry. We planned to go to see if she is being held there.
Thank you for telling me all that. I'm beginning to feel hopeful again. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I suppose I'll just have to return to the tavern and hope you find her ladyship.
Really? You're not gonna send all of those guards to help? Like, I thought you would want to, you know, help or whatever. You don't want to, you don't want to. I can do about that. Why can't I, Lima, Esciara, Paren. Oh, Paren is over there. Okay, upriver. Interesting. Okay. Alright, away we go. What's in here? Oh, really? Darn. Welcome back, Grace, and welcome to your British friend. You got a British friend, that's fun. like I need to get me one of those. British friend. I've got a couple of British friends, but it's people I haven't talked to in a good long while. Old colleagues, that sort of thing. Let's just fast travel, shall we? Yeah, how about all of that that's going on in the UK these days?
Be quiet. We don't want to be overheard.
Oops. Well, she is in danger.
You don't know who you're dealing with!
I need to knock this guy out, I think. Oh, shit.
Who
Okay.
are you? What are you doing here? We've come for the people you're holding prisoner.
Why did you kidnap them? One of them is a Nord, like yourselves.
That grimy bit of flotsam. He hired us to frighten the lady, but we weren't supposed to hurt her. He just wanted some answers. The fool. She's a merchant from the congregation. Can you imagine what she's going to get us when we demand a ransom?
Really?
So we called a few friends and kidnapped her. As for him, well, we'll see what happens when we get the money.
Let me talk to them. I know this sort of people well.
Sure.
You want easy money? Fine. How much do you want?
This merchant is probably worth a fortune. So bring us a fortune and nothing will happen to the prisoners. Otherwise... And since we're not dogs, if you don't have the coin, a very valuable item will do the trick.
Okay. 400?
Did you really think your little scam was going to work? This merchant is well known and has a lot of friends. Her servant has alerted the guard, who are on their way. We were just sent ahead to make sure she was all right.
Lass, mate, barnacles. They could clap us in irons.
Why are you
Here,
so
take the key
stupid?
and free your cursed merchant. We're out of here.
Okay.
Captive by these brutes!
Okay, please shut up. By the way, I will remind you that last time we came here, I was like, "Oh wow, there's a cage. I bet they're trafficking creatures or something." It wasn't creatures, I guess.
You're free. Come with us. We'll take you somewhere safe.
Okay.
Oh, that's such a relief.
Turns out it wasn't creatures.
I thought I'd never get out of that cage. However did you find us?
All we did was
You don't
follow
look
your
well,
trail
ma'am.
from the docks where you met. As a matter of fact, your servant was so
Looks like
worried
she's got a
about you
bad
that he
cold.
took it out on us.
Oh, poor Joseph. Oh, don't blame him. He's very protective and fiercely loyal. But it sometimes makes him lose his wits. Thank you very much for your help. But I am quite exhausted and hungry, so I must get back to the tavern straight away.
Yeah, you've been gone for
Suppose you expect me to
days.
thank you.
No, that's not really my style. But I do expect an explanation. How did you get caught up in this mess?
I hired those thugs to help me scare the merchant a little. But when they realized that it wasn't about getting a hefty ransom, they decided to take matters into their own hands. They grabbed us both and brought us here. I imagine they were hoping that the congregation would pay for her, but as for me...
Why did you want to intimidate this merchant?
I wanted her to tell me something about my mum. About what had become of her.
None of this makes any sense. Why would she have any information about your mother?
You haven't heard? Our village was attacked. They set fire to it. granddad, your father was killed in the fight, along with lots of other villagers.
Oh.
All thanks to you,
Oh.
my dear uncle.
No. No, that can't be true.
A few of us managed to escape, like me and Mum. But we got separated in the confusion. I made it to the sea and decided to become a Norse. To get away from everything. From the war and the consequences of your crimes. But Mum, she fled to the congregation. And I was hoping that this merchant would know where she is.
I'm sorry, Rudolph. I'm so very, very sorry. My father, the village. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Maybe not, but it happened. So try and find Mum, will you? I just want to know she's alright.
I'll try. But you know the congregation's a big place and not everyone who lives there knows everyone else.
I realise now that my plan was stupid. I only hoped. Ever since I became a Norse, I've been here on Yxantis. I'm just sea-given, and I don't really have my sea legs. They never sent me back to the continent, so when I heard about this merchant, I wanted to talk to her.
I can understand that. And I also understand your anger towards me. But don't go getting into trouble like this in the future. Don't end up like me.
I'll be more careful in the future. But try to find out where my mum is. Please.
Now that Rudolph is safe and sound and we've proven that he didn't mistreat that merchant, I think I owe you an explanation.
I'm listening.
Yeah, let's go.
You know that I was a soldier once. In the village where I grew up, I was forcibly conscripted by the local lord to take part in the Civil War. It was horrible. We were used as cannon fodder, and the nobles who gave us orders never took any risks themselves. I ended up leaving that life behind and becoming a smuggler. But what you don't know is why I left the army. I killed my commanding officer. The bounty on my head isn't so much for my smuggling activities as for that first offense. Some years ago, not long after that incident, they tried to get me by targeting my brother, Rudolph's father. They threatened to hang him if I didn't surrender. I knew they'd hang us both if I gave myself up, so I let my brother hang.
I'm sorry, Ludwig. I understand.
Yeah, that's pretty
your
straightforward
nephew's
terrorism.
behavior better now.
It's almost
But
like a
why
Soviet
did
tactic.
you kill your officer?
That's a story for another day. Suffice it to say that he had it coming. Anyway, I want to thank you for helping me. It means a great deal to me.
Nice. God, reminds me a bit of a small little piece of Boba Fett's backstory. At least the EU version of Boba Fett. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Boba Fett was he was a Mandalorian commando, right? Ship. And when he was fighting on Concord Dawn, I think it's in the Mandalore system in the EU. It was reused for Rebels, at least, and I think the Clone Wars. Anyway, but it was reused in Disney reused it. But he was fighting as a mercenary. And the woman that he was courting had been sexually assaulted by, I forget if it was his commander or just a superior officer. And he killed the guy. Just blatantly, in the open, in front of everybody. Killed him dead. And for that, he was exiled. Because he didn't want to expose what had happened to her. Which would have exonerated him, at least presumably. Which, yeah, that is to be fair, a relatively, I don't know if it's a typical story, but it is certainly a very archetypal sort of gunslinger type story. Say that. She can wear this hat, right? Merchant's hat. She's not very she's not exactly congregation. She needs medium armor. Not light armor. Yeah, that's just strictly better. Cool too. Almeida, that's fine. I'm probably never going to use Safia, mostly just because I just kind of despise the Bridge Alliance. Okay, yeah, so we got representatives of most of the factions, right? We get Till from the Coin Guard. We kind of like him. I don't know. I don't know him well enough, but I may wind up liking him at some point. His rusted ass armor, good lord. We got Nilan, our brother from Tier 4D. We got Ludwig from the Dutan Empire. Relationship is nice. We've upgraded our relationship. Nice. And we've got Sybil from... It's interesting. Specifically the DeVesp family, not from the congregation. I wonder if that means we're going to get a Desarde companion, not Desarde, a Dorsey companion. Or at least someone loyal to Dorsey. Interesting. Potentially interesting. We got Safia for the Bridge Alliance, which I cannot say enough how much I detest the Bridge Alliance. So it's a short-barreled musket. I'll take it regardless. Why not? It's better than... I need better rings, but whatever. Get Fausta from Taleme, and Alvida from the Knots. Yeah. Now we've got a nice. I think we have a representation for. Oh, all but one of the factions. We don't have anyone from the free cities. It's not yet. There might still be.
Thank you again for helping me get the child out of trouble. And I hope you're not too worried about traveling with a murderer.
Nah. You're not going to do it again, right? No, that's it. Nothing new.
We'll talk later.
I'm going to ask him more about the Duty Empire, but
if you need me.
I think he's already told us all he's going to tell us there. Oh, gosh. All right. Next, we'll... I think this is just a companion quests time. I think next week, whether that's Wednesday or Friday or whatever it is, we're going to pick up here on the ship and just do an array of companion quests. Because we got to do Alvidas, we got to do Faustas, we got to do not Sybil. What's her name? The Bridge Alliance woman. Safia, that's it. So yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta do the whole gang. I can equip a sidearm? Wait, why are the Imperialists hostile? That's weird. Interesting. The Knots are cordial. That tracks. I didn't realize my faction stats were down here. Under my head. We gotta work on... Not Bridge Alliance, I don't care. Wait, where's Merchants? Where's the Congregation? Do they not have a faction loyalty? We're going to Paren. That's strange. That's very strange that that they don't have a faction loyalty. Unless it's just not shown up yet, because we've never interacted with them. Then again, we've also never interacted with Imperialists at all. I'm a little bit surprised that Coin Guard are only suspicious when we've done nothing but kill them. Oh, gosh. I mean, same kind of goes for Bridge Alliance, but whatever. All right. Anyway, that's all we got for tonight. So that's all I got for today. Like I said, keep an eye out for that stupid little podcast covering the Pope's encyclical. It's either, like I said, it's either going to be live tomorrow night. It's going to be late, like tonight was, so probably close to 10 o'clock. Something, or 10 o'clock Eastern. Something like that. I don't know how long it's going to go, but we'll go as long as we wind up going. So that's going to be either, like I said, either live tomorrow night, or I may just wind up pre-recording, depending on everyone's schedules and all that. So we'll wait and see. If it either way, it'll be up on YouTube and on audio platforms, so Spotify at the very least, sometime shortly after that. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for it. We'll be back either Monday or Wednesday for more Fable 3, and then either Wednesday or Friday for more Greedfall 2. So, thanks for joining me tonight. Not too eventful of a chat, but we got to talk about a couple of interesting things that I had some thoughts on. And a little bit of a hint of what's to come, especially in the podcast. So, I will see you guys next time. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Have a good Feast of the Sacred Heart. Or hope you had a good Feast of the Sacred Heart. Hi, Baze. Good night. I'm about to leave, but thanks for stopping in anyway. Feel free to go back and watch the replay. We talked about some fun stuff, so go for it. Anyway, thanks for joining. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.